We're getting an up-close look at some of the progress being made to rebuild a big part of Asheville's water system. This as tens of thousands have been without running water for more than a week now, without any immediate end in sight. New drone video and photos have been released showing huge pieces of broken pipe sticking out of the ground. The video also shows the progress crews have made on some of the pipelines 25 feet underground. Most of this video was taken at the city's water distribution location along Old US 70, but not at the source. City officials say there is still a long road ahead, and some of the newly released images of the massive catastrophic damage explain why. We've asked the city numerous times if they have a plan and a timeline, but so far, no response.
And you can see as we move towards the bridge, look at the level of destruction that exists. All that has to be rebuilt before we can even think about putting water lines in.
Now, a lot of the piping was installed and reinforced after a storm about 20 years ago, but it was still no match for Helene's powerful wind and fierce flooding. We're hoping to get word from the city so folks will be able to make plans with their lives.
And happening now, NC 226 North remains closed at Mace's Mobile Home Park in McDowell County. The Highway Patrol closed it because of safety concerns. No traffic is being allowed beyond this point until further notice. Local traffic will still be able to access their homes. NC 226 North is also closed at the Mitchell County line, meaning no traffic can travel south from Mitchell County into McDowell County on NC 226.
Water is again flowing through the pipes at Mission Hospital. However, it's not from the city's water system, but from more than 3 dozen tankers now surrounding the region's trauma center. News 13's Jennifer Emmert spoke with the hospital's chief executive officer about the challenges the hospital has faced after the storm.
Pumps like these are fueling Mission Hospital with a vital resource in short supply: water.
We still do not have that vital resource of our municipal water.
A trail of tanker trucks now deployed, up to 40 a day, pumping water to pressurize the hospital's water system.
And with the pressurizing of our water system, we've been able to have showers, toilets, sinks, and everything available.
The basics missing following the storm. Hospital administration admitting Friday and Saturday were tough.
We had a rough ride for the first 24 hours. We lost city water, a vital resource. And so we deployed our entire team to provide buckets of water to flush all toilets. So we had potable water on every unit. Our patients were safe at all times.
Through the HCA partnership, they've worked supply chains, bringing in over 300 extra personnel and equipment.
We had a cache of sterilization trays here so that we can stay open to trauma services, but we partnered with our Health Trust supply vendors in those facilities to maintain that every day, constant supply.
Federal resources have also deployed, setting up a mobile emergency department, or DMAT, in the emergency room parking lot to handle less severe ER patients.
We have a bit of a unique setup because we're integrated with the hospital here, so we have hospital radiology that can do x-rays in the tent.
As for whether those resources came soon enough,
this is a new playbook for anybody who thinks that any level of government, anybody here, could have been prepared precisely for what we're dealing with here. Clearly are clueless. They're doing a great job.
The hospital is already bracing and preparing for a second wave of illness, with so many without access to running water or at risk for bacterial diseases tied to the lack of bathroom facilities coupled with the cleanup.
This will be long-term. We've got to really look to the integrity of the public health system, the hygiene within the community, and offer them water services that are being deployed, hygiene services that are being deployed, and just continue to assess the needs and provide those resources.
Jennifer Emmert, News 13.
Literal signs of hope and encouragement from people in Black Mountain. Take a look at this video. People are standing on the corners of Highway 9 and 70, holding signs and waving to people you see there as they pass by. The goal, to spread love and hope to those impacted by the storm. The group also giving heart signs as people drive by, and those drivers honking their appreciation. Surely a very welcome sign to those who have suffered so much there.
People coming together during a time of crisis.
There are areas where people still remain without power, including here in Asheville.
Yeah, so true. Temitope Adelaya with our sister station WJAR out of Rhode Island is live in Asheville with more details. Temitope?
Good morning. We are here at the Piscaview Apartments. You may not be able to see, but there's actually a trail here of downed trees as well as down power lines that have been moved over here to the side, cleared off of the roads. The folks here in this area have not had power here for days, but that's not all. They tell us that they haven't had water as well, and it's created quite a hindrance for the folks here in the area. They haven't been able to use water to flush their toilets, to clean with, and it's also been difficult to get drinking water as well. So they're telling folks out here that they need all the resources, all the support that they can get here at this time, and they're hoping that folks can help pitch in, bringing in gallons of water for them to help them out while they wait for their power to be turned back on. So we're going to continue to update you all on all of those affected and how some folks are actually helping people out. For now, live in Asheville, Temitope Adelaya, News 13.
And new this morning, Blue Ridge Community College is closed until further notice. The college says while classes are suspended, they are working to check on students, faculty, and staff. They're also putting a huge emphasis on mental health. They say students and their families who need crisis support can access the Student Assistance Program.
And new this morning, Henderson County has a new curfew in place. The new curfew is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Henderson County Resource Hub locations will remain open today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And starting today, the county's call center will be available for all non-medical information requests from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just call 828-771-6670.
Time to now debunk. Social media rumors have sprung up over a number of issues related to Helene, and we went to Chimney Rock and talked with officials there to debunk some of what's going around. One of the rumors circulating on social media is that bodies were washing up on shores or floating down the river. Officials tell us that's not the case. While there are a lot of fatalities, they are being handled appropriately.
Another rumor that officials debunked is one stating the government was seizing land in Chimney Rock. Their response was, no, that's not happening. Chimney Rock's mayor says his main goal is to get business and homeowners back as soon as it's safe after finding those unaccounted for.
Organizations across the country continue to step up to help Western North Carolina. Individual groups and recognized nonprofits have spent the past week giving out items and helping with search and rescue in Swannanoa, which was, as you all know, very badly hit.
Yeah, among them, the Cajun Army, French Broad River Academy, and so many other groups here to help. One wildlife EMT said they've been working overtime getting folks in the mountains the medicine and supplies they need.
Going out to these places, we're hiking in, we're ruining our cars getting to these people in need just to make sure that they have the peace of mind that we know you're here, we're here for you as well.
Officials with the Cajun Army are out with a helicopter, mules, a distribution center, and more to help. They tell us there are so many folks who are still waiting for assistance, unable to be reached because their roads were washed away.
Yeah, these groups plan on staying to help the search and rescue mission and recovery for the next month and maybe even past that. Well, it was less than 3 years ago when Bearwaters Brewery in Canton was hit hard by Fred. Now it was hit again by Helene, and the brewery's president says this time it's even worse. Officials say the tanks and machinery that are essential to the brewing process were damaged. He and his team will soon start assessing that damage to try and figure out when it can all be up and running again.
We have a lot of critical mechanical systems that were underwater this time that I don't know if they even work. So we'll have to start assessing that. And then once we know that information, we can start really kind of planning a recovery timeline for the company.
Now, Sandifer says that he's grateful for the community's help with the cleanup efforts during this difficult time.
Working to get more information on a possible visit to the mountains by the vice president.
Yeah, here's what we know so far. The White House says Vice President Kamala Harris will travel to our state today to survey the damage herself from Helene.
All we know is that the plan is for the vice president to look over the damage and get an on-the-ground briefing about recovery efforts. She will also provide updates on federal aid and support for communities and emergency response.
And as we learn more information about her visit today, we'll bring you those updates on air and, of course, online.
We know that this unprecedented catastrophic storm requires an unprecedented response.
Governor Roy Cooper toured Haywood County yesterday to get a look at the devastation in towns, including Canton. He says more than $6 million in aid have been given to people since Helene. A FEMA administrator was also there to survey the damage.
Also, an update this morning from the Buncombe County water system, which is actually the Asheville water system. The Asheville city manager showed some of the incredible pictures of the damaged system. The storm wiped out major water transmission lines coming from the North Fork Reservoir. The city manager says the amount of dirt washed away by the rushing water is unprecedented.
This is our drone operator. Again, this gives you a little bit of context. This is Mark, and he's probably about 6 feet tall. So what you see is this event washed away almost 25 feet of earth. So again, I want to reiterate that pipe was 25 feet in the ground.
Now, that reservoir supplies 80% of customers in Asheville and in the area that get their water from the Asheville city water system. They are working on all the sections of the system and have to pressurize 1,800 miles of piping. There was no real update on when folks may actually have their water back on.
Well, the East Asheville Swannanoa area was hit especially hard by Helene.
Yeah, it sure was. Overnight, some signs of progress there with power returning to at least portions.
Yeah, that's where Stephanie Dupre from our sister station in Columbus, Ohio joins us live right now. And Stephanie, work continues to restore power to that hard-hit area of Asheville.
Well, here on Tunnel Road, it doesn't look like anything is going on, but something is going on. The lights and the power have been restored on this strip and in this area. We are standing in the parking lot of the East Village Grill, and it has its power back on too. Now, a lot of folks have been in complete darkness for a week now, something unimaginable. I can't imagine going through that myself and everything else that they've had to endure. But these are the small wins that people are aching for and they're looking for, and that's what we're starting to see. Like this section of lights, and down the street a gas station has its power back on, and people can start to get back to some normalcy, and that's what people are really aching for at this point. Take a look at some video that we captured of this particular area literally just days ago, if you can imagine it. During a press conference, though, with Buncombe County officials and Duke Energy, this was yesterday, we were told that majority of folks in this surrounding area should have their power restored. I will say, on our way here towards this East Village Grill in this area, I saw a lot of trucks out, a lot of crews are out, still working to get those specific areas back on. I did see some traffic lights out, so if you do get on the road, just be cautious of that four-way stop. As of yesterday, though, county officials did report that 170,000 people were still without power. Now, of course, overnight, that number may have changed, so don't quote me on that. You can keep tabs of that number, the specific number, on our website. But again, we have seen crews early this morning, and if you don't have your power just yet, don't panic. Just hang in tight, because we're told that majority of folks should have their power restored by tomorrow or into Monday. Live, I'm Stephanie Dupre reporting.
In good spirits, supply distribution centers are helping the community recover. We have reports of that over the last few days. More than 1,000 and 1,500 people were served through drive-through supply centers. This supply center, operating off Tryon International Complex, offering free supplies to anyone who needs them for humans, pets, and livestock. Donations and volunteers are still being accepted. However, livestock donations are no longer needed at this time. New images and perspective from Chimney Rock.
News 13's Karen Zakaluk found out local leaders are working quickly to rebuild and have another important message they want to share with the public.
You can see the road is still blocked here into the Chimney Rock area. Emergency officials confirming to us that 71 welfare checks are actively happening, and there have been 3 fatalities in this area, but they have a very strong message to the public.
I would just tell people that, anything that sounds outlandish and crazy is not true. I've been told that 3 crews are working on 3 different highways, including ours, and they're all going to connect in Batcave. So that should ease some people's minds about the highway and takeovers and all that.
Mayor Peter O'Leary saying Chimney Rock is rebuilding as quickly and safely as possible. despite false rumors that the government is taking back the land. Right now, crews are working tirelessly to clean up hazardous debris and bring back roadways to start connecting the town that was swallowed by water last week. The spirit of Chimney Rock hard at work as well.
This is the worst that we've ever seen, but we'll be fine. We'll get through it, and the support of the community has just been awesome.
At last check, we heard that 800 people are safe from this area. About 14,000 folks in this direct community still without power right now. Reporting in the Lake Lure area, Karen Zatkalak, News 13.